All right, boys. Today we have a video from Mr. Asaratha Asa. I haven't watched one of his content or review videos in a while because if I watch like news and stuff, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just like if I watch like two of the same content, I don't know. But I've got a word from my lawyers that like apparently he's dooming. Is he dooming? It'll be interesting, right? Because Asa is caught up to the novel and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see a novel reader perspective on on this episode, man. So today we got the most insane cliffhanger of the season. Let's go.
That episode ender, huh? What a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
We open up with Amelia scolding Julius because of his recklessness, to which Subaru leaves it to Patrush. She will watch
So,
over Julius.
question: is the beginning like review or like kind of like summary, or do I let him cook? Because like like I know like sometimes he like does this, right? Summary. So like what is there like a little like time frame where like we can just like I guess like change it to like because if it's just a summary, then I don't know if to like let it play, you know what I mean?
With Julius.
Yeah, it's a summary. So I mean, do I just like skip over here? Like, is it just like the same stuff again? Middle?
Aridna asked him this very same question on the below. This
Around
episode
here.
was maybe my least favorite of the season.
Oh, okay. Let's go right here. Review. Let's see his review, man.
On theories, fears or apprehensions for an amnesia arc, or even excitement. Let me know in the comments below. This episode was maybe my least favorite of the season.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
shit.
know, typical Doom and Asa. Like, I haven't been glazing most of it, by the way. I feel like the underlying tension and atmosphere that should have been present here wasn't really captured.
Okay.
We kind of speed through the talks in the dining room and in the dinner itself, and then we get to the balcony scene, which I'm mixed on. I think it has some good visual presentation with some of the boards. I like the shots where we get, like the far shot of the balcony, or we look through the bird's eyes to see Aridna and Subaru, but outside of that, the actual content itself feels kind of rushed.
Rushed? You think? I think that I can agree. I can agree with in terms of I guess animation. I guess right, like storyboarding wise, like maybe it could have been better, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that like they're also like I guess like saving for like the future episodes because future episodes are gonna be fucking crazy. I think I think Vincent Chancellor, right? He's gonna be pulling up as well. So we have like a lot of stuff in the future, but I can definitely see what he means by like I guess like I think there was like some like tweet as well of like there's like some drama recently with like ReZero stuff, like someone calling it a 6 out of 10 on Twitter, and the fact that like the animation looks stiff, and how like it all like looked kind of like meh, and like the only good like visually like good like I guess like scene was like this one right here with the birds and stuff. But okay, I mean I can kind of see where he's coming from with this. Yeah, Vincent Charizard, bro. Charizard, dude.
It has some good visual presentation with some of the boards. I like the shots where we get, like the far shot of the balcony, or we look through the bird's eyes to see Aridna and Subaru, but outside of that, the actual content itself feels kind of rushed.
Okay.
The fear from Aridna was palpable in the novels, but here it feels more like a passing moment. I mean, all she does is kind of like grip her or tighten her fist, instead of like clutching her limbs in fear. Subaru doesn't feel nearly as pressed before Julius arrives either, and we miss out on certain cut exchanges between Subaru and Aridna that lead to a more eerie setting.
Yeah, I also News mentioned more about the conversation here, and how like for example, like Subaru mentioned the whole bunny stuff, right? Like the fact that like that's like an example, right? Like the conversation was longer. They can't really include everything, but I can definitely see what he means by I guess like immersion wise and like the tension wise, right? Because obviously there was like some dialogue here and there that like like Subaru mentioning his like problems with like buddies and stuff, and like stuff like that, like I could definitely see that as well. Also another thing, a little detail here that also confused me before like Subaru even mentioned it. Yeah, at first I thought that her clenching her fist here meant she was mad. I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, why is she mad? But then it was like also revealed to be like the fact that she's scared. But yeah, I mean that's also like a little misdirection there. I was like, what? Because like I didn't really get that vibe at all from this reaction that she was like fear. But it's not really a crazy detail to that I personally like minded, because like it was explained as well. But there's a lot to condense, bro. Yeah, there's a lot to condense into a 24-minute episode, especially if you want to get like the best moments as well, in budget wise as well, time wise, and so
Or tighten her fist, instead of like clutching her limbs in fear. Subaru does.
what I read this episode, I think this episode is like I don't think it's a 9. It's not a 9 or above. It's like, I think maybe like 8. It's like 7.5 to 8. I think 7.5 to 8. Because I liked the episode. I really did enjoy the episode. But when I'm saying that it's like an 8, for example, the reason that I'm saying 8, maybe 8.5, yeah. I can't go 9 though. I can't go 9. The reason that I say like 8 out of 10 is because the plot, the story, is so good, and I'm so immersed into the story that like it just hits for me. But I guess I can see why for people it could go down, because in terms of whether it be cut content, whether it be I don't know, the animation or the storyboarding, the direction, whether the case may be, that's a different story. That's a different case, I think. But like, since like I feel like the story is just so good, the plot is so good. It's just like I'm so like immersed, and I'm gonna fucking enjoy it every single time. But I guess like if you really look at it from like an objective standpoint, right? Because it's very important to also look at it from an objective standpoint rather than just like go based off how you feel, and just because the story and all that. You also got to, because like if I only take a look at the story and all that, every episode's like like 8.59 or even higher. But like you also gotta take a look at everything included, like in the package. So like if you include everything in the package, including animation and all that, then I guess like the score could go down, objectively speaking. You know what I mean? But me personally, um, if I'm talking like just like me as like in terms of enjoyment, if I'm talking enjoyment wise, not really like objectively looking at everything together in the package. If I'm just looking at it like enjoyment wise, I think it's like 8, 8.5 easily. I think 8.5 is easily. Um, Maybe 7.5. I say 7.5 if I'm going objectively. Like objectively, if you're going with like, I guess like animation direction wise and all that. But in terms of enjoyment, like I enjoyed that episode so much. I really like that episode. It's definitely the 8s for me. But um, I don't think I don't think it's the worst episode though. He said it's the worst episode. Me personally, I don't think it's the worst one, because episode 1 is there. But like episode 1 being the worst isn't even bad though, because like episode 1 was so good. I enjoyed episode 1. It's just there's better, right? Episode 1 was more setup and wrapping up stuff for arc 5 and trying to get into arc 6, and pretty much all the setup and like and all the build up and all that to get into arc 6. That's what episode 1's purpose was. So it makes sense why it's the weakest, but it was still good. I think it was still fine. But yeah, I think like 7 is like second, maybe third worst. But like, not really like worst, because like I feel like all the episodes have been good. But I guess in terms of like, I guess like compared to others, right? If you had to rank them, then I guess it's like one of the weaker ones. But I don't think it's the worst one. I don't think it's the weakest one, man. I think episode 1 is easily the weakest one, but that's just because it's set up, so it just makes sense why. Yeah, it's a transition episode. It makes sense why it's like the weakest. It's just a transition episode, bro. It's like it's also adapting arc 5 stuff. Yeah, it's like ending it and to be able to get into arc 6. So I don't know, but I can see like his perspective on the whole I guess like animation direction wise, I guess, right?
The fear from Aridna was palpable in the novels, but here it feels more like a
Yeah.
passing moment. I mean, all she does is kind of like grip her or tighten her fist.
So I guess like his like comparison here is like more of the fact that like in the novels you could really feel the tension and how like scared she really was, but here it doesn't really seem like it, and it was just like a singular moment that happened, and it was like really quick, which I guess so, because like Subaru was just like in the anime, he was like, "Yo, are you really scared of me?" And she was like, "Damn, you got me there," and then just moved on. So I guess that's one little thing there.
Instead of like clutching her limbs in fear. Subaru doesn't feel nearly as pressed before Julius arrives either, and we miss out on certain cut exchanges between Subaru and Aridna that lead to a more eerie setting.
Sure.
When Julius pulls up is when I think the episode is at its best. Julius himself hard carried. His voice acting was fantastic, his sheer despair was palpable. I loved his performance, and I obviously love his content here, with losing the last bit of hope he didn't know he still had.
Yeah, I think this exchange right here with Julius, Subaru, and Aridna elevated the episode so much more. I absolutely love this exchange right here, man. The reveal as well, like him finally talking about it, like finally being able to talk about it and like learning about the whole reveal and stuff, and still holding on to that whole stuff about being a knight and the whole drama stuff too. Like, how could someone like Subaru, like as he says, like that pretty much doesn't have a deep connection to her, just knows or like realize that it wasn't actually Anastasia, and like the foremost knight, like the first knight, the literal knight could not tell that, and that still fucks Julius up. So I think that this moment was so good. Like I definitely agree. I think that if we're going in terms of shock factor, right? What really got me was obviously the ending to the episode. But then, if I look at like the overall best moment in terms of writing and how it felt, right, to experience each moment in this episode, I think this is definitely the best scene right here. Definitely with Julius, Subaru, and Erinna, especially knowing the outcome of all this, right? Julius and Subaru have this like crazy exchange, and the last thing that they had was a little argument, and they weren't able to really like, I guess, make up, and because of that, it's gonna hurt even more now when Julius finds out that Subaru lost memories, because the last memory that they had together and they shared together was this right here. So it's really sad, man. If you really think about it from that perspective too, it's very sad. This scene was so good.
Performance, and I obviously love his content here, with losing the last bit of hope he didn't know he still had.
Yeah.
And that final exchange with Subaru was absolutely fantastic, and then we have the cliffhanger.
Yes.
I feel this suffers for a few reasons. One, it obviously lacks the afterword that the chapter does, in which Tape states that Arc 6 is truly starting now. Secondly is the, in my opinion, a lack of properly communicated tension and atmosphere of the episode, meaning this event feels less like a climax and more like a thing that just happened. And third is there's nothing really done with this moment to elevate it as an adaptation. No unique ending choice, no fun or unique presentation. We don't even get a sick callback to the Cone Beanie scene, despite the convenience store being the title. Something they don't even have to redraw, they could just copy and paste it and I would be happy.
I actually agree with, okay, I can see with different things here. First things first, I think that this moment right here, okay, so in terms of the twist itself, crazy. I felt like that was fucking crazy. In terms of direction towards the moment, I was kind of confused, and I was like, what the fuck, where are we going with this? But it's not necessarily bad though. At least for me. I think it was fine. I definitely see where he's coming from, where maybe he wanted to be more immersed into it. Maybe he just wanted, like, maybe he just wanted the adaptation of the anime to make it more, I don't know, like, different, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is just bar for bar, word for word from the novel, right? And also, that's also another thing to keep in mind. He said the thing about, like, how in the end of it, pretty sure at the end of the volume, right, or the end of the chapter, whatever the hell, it said like Arc 6 is starting, right? Because Tape said that, but I don't think you can really, obviously you can't really put that in the anime. So I don't know about that one, but I guess the complaint from him and maybe other people is the fact that it was so sudden, right? Like, this moment, he just goes in here, it fades to black, he wakes up, next scene, and twist happens. And I guess that felt very lackluster for a lot of people. For me, in the moment, for me, it's so different, because what I think about, what I felt in the moment was so different than like trying to look at it objectively. Looking at it objectively and trying to, I guess analyze it and look at it afterwards is so different. Because during the episode, it didn't feel bad, like too bad for me, at least from my experience, right? But at the same time, it's also, but here's the thing, it's also a different experience if you're a novel reader. As a novel reader, you already know what happens. The twist, the excitement there, the twist is not there. So you're expecting maybe some anime adaptation stuff where it elevates the moment even more, or maybe even exceeds the novel. So maybe he's expecting, the way that he's looking at this scene, I think is very different from an anime only. I think he's looking at this like scene expecting like maybe they change it up, they elevate the adaptation, they like adapt it like better than the novel, like it's way better. Like maybe they do some creative shit. Maybe he was just waiting for that, and then maybe he was left with disappointment considering that it was just Subaru. He goes in here, fades to black, and the twist happens. So it's a different experience for me because obviously I did not know the twist was gonna happen. I did not know what the fuck was going on. So that's why the shock at the end of the episode felt even crazier for me, and why the rating for the episode for me is so much higher, because it's like, oh my god, what the fuck just happened? We're going to the beginning. The memory wiping, what does this mean? The theorizing, right? The theorizing, bro. The theorizing aspect of this episode is so fun. But it's a little different when you're a novel reader. So maybe he was just expecting a more, I guess, like different type of direction, because it was just bar for bar. You know? It's just bar for bar from the novel pretty much, and it's not really that different. I guess like also another case is the fact that the animation also felt kind of meh, kind of stiff, but it's like, I don't know. I think that the animation was fine for me. Yeah. And the novel, we also just don't know where those the stairs lead to later as well. Got you. Just theories. Expectations were high after episode 3, which elevated the adaptation. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe because episode 3 just... But like episode 3 was also very different though, because episode 3 is like... It's such a different situation. The reason that episode 3 was able to be adapted the way that it did, maybe even better than the novel, is because the fact that, like, bro, it's such a crazy, shocking episode. Like, there's so much shit happening, like some crazy stuff, like gore and stuff, and you know, seeing that on the screen adapted, right, compared to the light novel. I mean, the light novel also is different because, like, it's in the light novel Tappe has to like kind of like explain it in detail, but like in the anime it's like it's just a different experience, dude, right? Also the fact that you can like cut the content as well in the anime, and you know the consistency and you know everything is different. But episode 3 was really good. Again, I mean, it definitely elevated the adaptation for sure, because I heard the novel readers were like, holy shit, this is so good. So I guess like novel readers really loved what they did with episode 3. And I guess like, you know, for example, like maybe Asa was expecting something, I don't know if like episode 3 level, because like episode 3 is just a different part of the story where we're in a cave and dying and all that shit. It's just different. But maybe like some sort of direction change or something like that, where it felt even more impactful in terms of the twist and the moment, maybe. But we needed more impact frames. Impact frames right here, bro. We need an impact frame for Subaru just saying he got isekai, bro.
First, for a few reasons. One, it obviously lacks the afterword that the chapter does, in which Tappe states that Arc 6 is truly starting now. Secondly is in my opinion, a lack of properly communicated tension and atmosphere of the episode, meaning this event feels less like a climax and more like a thing that just happened.
Okay.
And third is there's nothing really done with this moment to elevate it as an adaptation.
Yeah, see, it's just like he was expecting something more in terms of, I guess, like the direction and trying to make the moment a little, like, I guess, like more different, right? Like different.
No unique ending choice, no fun or unique presentation. Yeah. We don't even get a sick callback to the Cone Beanie scene, despite the convenience store being the title. Something they don't even have.
This is an interesting take. What do y'all think about this? Would it confuse an anime-only viewer if all of a sudden, from the scene that fades to black after the stairs, you see him like at the store, like coming out of the store? I feel like that would cause so much confusion. Like if you put that scene again right after, and it would also spoil what happens next as well. I don't know. That's just like, I feel like me personally, I don't really see how that scene would have I guess like worked, and also it would have maybe caused a lot of confusion. You know, I don't know. I really don't see how that would have like worked. But I guess like, but again, his point is the fact that like he just wanted like something different. You know, a little more elevated of an adaptation. Yeah, it was 1-to-1 with the novel. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like literally the exact same. Like there's really not much different to it, like the novel, to be honest. Yeah, it would have also been jarring to animation difference. Very true. Season 1 animation is different. Also, I mean, would they really reanimate that entire scene again? You know, like if they're would they really reanimate the entire thing again and put it there just for that scene? Like, I don't think so. So I don't know, but I guess yeah, I see what he's like. I guess like looking at here.
Unique ending choice, no fun or unique presentation. We don't even get a sick callback to the Cone Beanie scene, despite the convenience store being the title.
Yeah.
Something they don't even have to redraw, they can just copy and paste it and I would be happy. The Amnesia cliffhanger is played completely straight, which I know some people are fine with since it's supposed to be a surprise. I just think that it should be the release of tension from a tense episode. The one we really didn't get. I give this episode a tentative 6 out of 10 for now, maybe a 5 if I really thought about it.
6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Wow. Wow. Holy. That's crazy. I thought he just said, wow. Even 5 out of 10. Huh. It's just a different way to look at it, man. Like, but I that's also something that he just mentioned too, like the fact that like, I guess like maybe he wanted more tension. He wanted more like I guess like what the fuck is going on type shit. Like, I mean, to be honest, the entire episode felt off to me. Like I was like the vibes were weird, but I guess like I didn't really feel tense at all. To be honest, I actually did feel tense towards the end. Was it tense? Or maybe I'm confusing it. Maybe not tense. Maybe more confused. Because I was like, what the fuck is happening? Where are we going? But I was still interested, right? I was still like, I wasn't like, I was still very immersed, right? I was very immersed. But I guess like he wanted more like tension in terms of like, the build up to the moment, and then with the moment, it's like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, when Julius pulled up, it was pretty tense. But I guess like leading up to the moment as well, I guess especially with the stair fade out scene, I guess he wanted more as well. Okay, I mean, but damn, it's just interesting to hear this because it's like such a different, like I haven't heard a perspective like this. Like Asa's, yes, 5, 6 out of, but 5, yeah, true. 5 to 6 out of 10 isn't bad. He's just saying it's mid, exactly. Because like he's not saying it's bad, it's just mid, which is fine. Like again, it's also a matter of opinion, man. Like, and I'm just like very interested. I'm just very interested to see his opinion on this, right? The fact that like he gave it a 5 to 6 out of 10 when everyone else is pretty much like loving this, right? I'm loving it. So to hear a completely different like take on this is just interesting. But okay, he gave it a 5 to 6, bro. Yeah, the app anyway, so it's fine. Yeah. But me personally, I like the episode. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'd give it a like A, bro. But that's just me, honestly, right? That's just me. Like me personally, right? He's also a novel reader, and it's a different way of looking at it. He wanted more just tense moments and stuff to build up to the crazy moment. But yeah, me personally, I liked it, man.
The one we really didn't get. I give this episode a tentative 6 out of 10 for now, maybe a 5 if I really thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. I can see his perspective, so I respect his opinion. Exactly. I can definitely see his perspective, bro. I definitely see it.
About it. It doesn't have super interesting presentation, has some very unfortunate cuts, and fails to deliver on one of the most hype moments of the arc for a lot of people.
He like failed to deliver, like, because this moment is like huge, right? Like it's such a crazy moment, such a crazy twist, and he probably just wanted more. Thing I forgot to mention, I like that they're playing with the lighting. Oh, okay. I like that they're playing with the lighting in the bird scene. The lighting is inconsistent, but that's fine. It's fake anyway. Just do whatever fits the scene. Okay. Yeah, I think that the scene overall was good though. I think the scene was overall good.
For now,
the Julius scene was beautiful. I actually really like that scene. I think the coloring and just like, you know, what they did with the birds is pretty good.
Be a 5 if I really thought about it. It doesn't have super interesting presentation, has some very unfortunate cuts, and fails to deliver on one of the most hype moments of the arc for a lot of people. Let me know your guys' rating.
Okay.
Our first cut comes right before Charlotte tells Subaru to take as long as he wants. Specifically...
Yeah, I think the cut content, I'm pretty sure, is just like, probably the same things Anne used, right? Most likely. Because I already went over that, so... Man. So, honestly, on his review, man, I kind of just wanted to see more of what he was thinking right in his review. You know, obviously the beginning of the video was more of like a summary, and then like the cut content we just watched any news and stuff, so it's pretty much probably gonna be the same thing. So overall, man, W review, man, I definitely see it's interesting to see a point of view of someone who thinks it's a 5 to 6 out of 10, man. I respect his opinion, bro. Definitely, I can definitely see his perspective. Definitely, I can see his point of view, bro. Like he just wanted more of a tense like build up because it's like the craziest moment, a crazy twist, and it didn't really feel like that. He felt like it didn't deliver, right? He just thought that the direction could have been better. I respect it, man. I respect it. But yeah, okay, that's his take on it. Me personally, man, I think the episode was really good. Yeah, man, that is going to be it for today, man. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below. Shout out to Asa, man. Video will be linked in the description. Shout out to him, man. And I will see you guys next time. See you guys.